Welcome back to my channel, Dead of Night. A remote, dimly lit gas station on the edge of a forest at night. The station has flickering overhead lights, empty fuel pumps, and dense trees surrounding it on three sides. The sky is overcast with no stars, giving a claustrophobic, eerie mood. The only light comes from the buzzing neon sign that says Crescent Ridge. The station appears deserted and silent, with shadows creeping along the pavement. There's an old vending machine and a trash bin near the door, both slightly rusted. Realistic, cinematic horror style dot inside a small convenience store with fluorescent lights overhead, shelves stocked with snacks, and a security monitor behind the counter. A tired young man in a hoodie and work vest sets his bag down, glancing around. Coffee machine steaming faintly, floor freshly mopped. The air feels sterile yet tense. Use soft interior lighting with shadowy edges in a realistic horror tone. Slight camera tilt for unease. A strange man in a long, dusty brown coat enters the gas station at night. His head is lowered, face obscured by shadow, and his posture is stiff. He moves slowly down the aisle, fingers brushing chip bags. The store's bright lights contrast sharply with his dark silhouette. Captured mid-step, he exudes mystery and menace. Realistic horror style, heavy shadows, unsettling presence dot. The brown-coated man stands perfectly still with the refrigerator door wide open, bathed in cold white light. His face is unseen, only the back of his head visible. Cold air fogs the glass as condensation forms. The rest of the store fades into a darker background, emphasizing eerie contrast between the fridge's sterile glow and the surrounding gloom. Hyper-realistic, disturbing tension. A dimly lit hallway in the back of a gas station. A brown-coated figure turns the corner just as the employee rushes after him. The hall has beige walls, a mop bucket in one corner, and a flickering emergency light. The hallway seems too long and unnaturally quiet. Realistic horror lighting with motion blur and shadow emphasis. A young man sits behind the gas station counter, staring at a small bank of grainy black and white security monitors. On the screen, a figure disappears mid-frame. The employee's face is tense and confused. One monitor shows the empty hallway where the figure should be. Dim store lighting and glowing screens add to the ominous mood. Realistic horror tech aesthetic. A close-up of a large, smeared handprint on the inside of the gas station glass door. The glass is slightly fogged, the handprint too wide and long to be human. Behind the door, the empty parking lot stretches into darkness. Use sharp contrast between the smudge and the clean glass. Realistic, ultra-detailed, eerie style. The back room of the station with metal shelves, cleaning supplies, and a single flickering fluorescent bulb casting harsh shadows. The light has just turned on by itself, illuminating a cold, industrial space. A flashlight beam cuts through the room, held by an unseen hand. The atmosphere is cold, sterile, and dangerous. Cinematic framing. A young man presses his ear to a backroom wall, listening intently. Behind the wall, invisible tapping and scratching noises are suggested by dust falling or faint bulging. The setting is claustrophobic, with pipes and exposed wires overhead. Realistic horror atmosphere, focusing on tension, isolation, and invisible terror. Exterior back of the gas station. A shadowy figure in a brown coat stands near a large metal dumpster. The floodlight above flickers. The figure's back is turned, head slightly tilted as if listening. The surroundings are industrial and grimy, surrounded by woods. Realistic, cinematic horror tone with intense contrast. A grimy metal wall behind a dumpster, marked with a large handprint smeared in what looks like dried blood. The smear trails downward. The area is dimly lit with harsh yellow lighting and dense forest just beyond. Eerie and photorealistic, the scene feels ominous and quiet. Horror realism emphasized ... inside the gas station, plunged into sudden darkness, with only red emergency lights casting dim glows. Shelves cast long shadows across the floor. A figure crouches behind the counter, barely visible. The security monitors are blank or flickering. Still, heavy atmosphere. Photorealistic, low-light horror mood. POV from behind the counter, looking down a long aisle. A single shadow slowly passes between shelves. The sound of footsteps echoes. The shelves are slightly disordered, with packages knocked over. Intense shadows and minimal light. Realistic, tense, unsettling horror composition. A frightened man inside a cramped, dark supply room filled with shelves, tools, and cleaning supplies. A red glow from under the door casts faint light. The man grips a metal wrench, eyes wide, back to the wall. Realistic, horror-style lighting with intense atmosphere. Emphasize claustrophobia. The supply room wall shows faint cracks or bulges as whispers echo inside. A shadow seems to stretch beneath the paint, as if something is pressing through. Cold condensation forms near it. No visible creature, just suggestion. High tension, photorealistic horror style with sound implied visually. A monitor behind the counter shows the employee lying dead behind the same counter, an exact double. The real employee stares in disbelief. Grainy black and white feed, static lines across the screen. Realistic CCTV horror aesthetic, unsettling mirror reality. Morning light begins to rise. The gas station interior is quiet, back to normal, with no sign of violence. Everything looks clean. Slight haze or fog in the air. But behind the counter, the figure in the brown coat stands silently, eyes watching through glass. Photorealistic horror calm before the storm moment. A pickup truck pulls into the station lot just before dawn. The employee stands outside, face pale, hollow-eyed. Charlie steps out of the truck, concerned. Long shadows stretch across the pavement. Use realistic dawn lighting with a cold morning atmosphere. Uneasy but calm. A car parked near a riverbank, fog rolling off the water. Driver's door open, engine idling. On the seat, a single paper towel with an inhuman, elongated handprint in dried blood. No person